10 days ago, I was visiting the retired priests of the Diocese of Motherwell who have made their homes in Ireland. And one of the visits was to my one-time parish priest, Canon Andy Reen. Sadly, the Canon has dementia now, and I'm not sure if he even remembered or recognized me. His conversation was very confused, and it was very sad for me to see him like this, as I had wonderful memories of him as a fit and healthy and energetic man during the 4 years or so that we were together in St. Bride's in Bothwell. However, one thing he did say, and say several times during my visit, was, "I love being a priest. I love being a priest." Despite his illness, despite his dementia, one thing he did know, one thing did remain a reality for him, and that was that he was a priest. And his priesthood meant so very much. Indeed, it meant everything to him. And of course, not just to him, for as a priest, he was and is called to be both a man of God and a man for others. And it is, of course, this privilege that Father Sean now shares. Like all of us called to this vocation, the priest is charged with proclaiming, in the words of St. Paul in our second reading, Jesus Christ as Lord. And not only is he charged to preach that truth, but in a very special way, the priest is called to be Christ for others. His words, his ministry at the altar, everything he does, the kind of person he tries to be, all have to witness Jesus, his love, his presence, his blessing, his care and compassion. It's truly a high ideal, and that Sean, and indeed all of us who share this ministry, prepared for over the years of our training in seminary. But as he himself remarked at the beginning of our celebration today, it's not only in seminary that we learn and become the priests that we are. We are, all of us, of course, people. Every one of us here, whether priest or not, we are who we are as a result of countless influences in life that mold us and shape us, our character and our personality. First and foremost, of course, there is our home and our family life. As Bishop Toll remarked too yesterday, the various schools that we attend, indeed the parish community from which we come, plays a unique part in our lives. The experiences of working life too. For Sean, that was, of course, many years, as you will know, in Tesco, where the motto, "Every little helps," he tried to put into practice day by day. And perhaps it's not a bad motto for the priest either. For every little thing that we do, we pray is helpful to others. The many friends that we come to know along the path of life also influence us very considerably. Sean's great ability to make friends and to keep friends is something that I certainly admire about him. And I'm sure it was with friends that he perhaps came to an appreciation of his call to be a seeker of souls. After all, he spent many hours in the soul suite at the bottom end of Wishaw, seeking out souls. All of this, of course, contribute to help us to be the people we are and to develop the God-given talents and abilities which are to be used in the service of God and one another. And I'm sure, and he did remark this too at the beginning of our Mass today, Sean is very much aware of the gratitude and the thanks that he owes to so many who have supported and encouraged him in the journey of his life that has brought him to this day. The ways in which priesthood is to be lived is also set before us in the scriptures of our Mass. The priesthood is to be lived in a spirit of true service, after the example of Christ himself. Here am I among you, Jesus says, as one who serves. The priesthood is to be lived too as a true disciple of Jesus, united with him in mind and in heart, and especially, of course, through the gift of the Eucharist, which the priest not only ministers to others, but which is the source of a special strength for him. And that ministry of priesthood is to be lived out in a spirit of humility that recognizes the treasure entrusted to the priest. The treasure is Christ himself. It's a treasure given to him, but it's a treasure also to be shared. And we priests are very privileged to be with our people in moments of joy and happiness, in times of anxiety and trouble, when there's sadness and sorrow. Our people look to us to give them something of the treasure of Christ at those times. And we priests must never be found wanting in that. The sacrament of orders, our closeness to Christ in prayer, assures us of Jesus' blessing upon our ministry. The prayer and the support of parishioners also encourages us in what we seek to do. And so too does their example of Christian faith lived daily. For the priest not only is to give to people in his care, but he must also be willing to receive from Jesus, and to receive too from the good people filled with faith and who live that faith every day that he will meet and come to know in the parish. Father Sean has looked forward to this day, as indeed have all of us. But today is only the first day of his priestly ministry. Many days, months, years, please God, stretch before him. Today he is surrounded by love and affection, by shared joy, goodwill, and the prayers of all of us, coupled, of course, with the presence of Christ in his word and in the sacrament. All of this, together with Sean's own enthusiasm and commitment, and the many talents and gifts that he undoubtedly has, are a sure and wonderful foundation for his future life as a priest, and will be a blessing for him, a blessing for his parish, and a blessing for our diocese. Canon Andireen, whom I met in Ireland, after 64 years of priesthood, could say with such assurance, "I love being a priest." Father Sean, our hope and prayer is that you too will come to that same reality, that you will love being a priest, a true man of God, and truly a man for others. So Sean, may God bless you, your priestly ministry, and all that you will do today and every day. Amen.